And welcome back to Late Night Love. Tonight we are stepping into the rooms where communication gets tangled. A new partner moving in, revealing red flags. Whew, read that wrong. A boyfriend upset about sleeping alone. Teens navigating intimacy without the emotional tools yet. Partners who want more initiation, more passion, more presence, and don't know how to ask for it. And yes, the quiet fear of wondering whether your partner's mind is somewhere else during intimacy. These are the conversations that feel risky, vulnerable, and sometimes embarrassing, but they're also the ones that build or break our connections. And before we get started, you can do us the favor, hit like, subscribe, share. You can find us at latenightLove.us. You can send us your questions, comments, suggestions to latenightLove.us and all that good fun stuff. I think I've got all that down.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised I got through that.
You did very well.
Considering
you did good.
A minute ago,
you butchered.
I couldn't get a dang thing out of my mouth. All right. So where are we starting tonight?
My boyfriend moved in 2 weeks ago, and I'm already noticing red flags. How do I address this without getting into a lengthy argument? He's not going to want a lengthy argument.
Yeah, no one wants a lengthy argument. What are your red flags? And this is
she didn't mention.
Because this is entirely one person's red flag is just another person's habit that you don't like.
Yeah.
Right? So it kind of depends. You know, are we dealing with anger issues? Red flags?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or are we dealing with...
She didn't say.
You know, he leaves his wet towel on the floor and I'm annoyed. Kind of red flags. Right? Those are vastly different.
Yeah.
Yeah. They both can be considered red flags. But...
One's a relationship ender, and the other one is probably a constant reminder for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's one of those. How much do you really mind? It's
yeah,
yeah. Is it? So,
I had to give up making sure that the dirty clothes got into the basket. In fact, I joined him. I have my own pile on the floor now.
Well, in my defense, I never know which basket it has what in it. So it goes on the floor because I know
the white one belongs to the kitty.
Like I said, you're talking about someone who pays no attention to how they fold their clothes. Like I'm paying attention to the baskets. I just want an empty basket that I know is where my dirty clothes go. I have no idea. There's clothes in it. I'm lost. I have no idea. Is they clean or are they dirty? It's all going on the floor and it gets sorted out by the underpants gnomes later.
It really does, doesn't it?
It really does. Now, if the pile gets too big, it means the underpants gnomes aren't in the mood, and so I'll take care of my own laundry. But it only happens a couple times a year, frankly.
Yeah.
It does happen. It just I do know how to do my own laundry.
Yeah.
I
know you do.
Yeah. I'm perfectly happy to do laundry, but I never get to it.
But you have to deal with budgets at work, so I do your laundry.
Yeah, that's the
switch. That's the trade-off.
Yeah. So I don't know. It really depends on the red flag, because some red flags are red flags, and you don't have a discussion. You just move. It doesn't seem like it's that kind of red flag because she doesn't say that, and that's one of those kind of things you say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anger issues or something. You know, some euphemism of that nature.
Uh-huh.
And there doesn't seem to be any of that. So here's the thing: any uncomfortable conversation starts with making it about you, not them. It's your problem, not theirs.
Yeah.
And you start with a conversation that way. That way they don't feel attacked and you can actually have a conversation. Because the minute someone feels attacked, they get defensive, walls go up, and conversations get nowhere.
Yeah.
So that's the generic advice you give for uncomfortable conversations. That's.
I think we're ignoring something.
Huh.
She's afraid of lengthy arguments.
Yes.
You can't be afraid of lengthy arguments or in a live-in situation.
Well, here's the thing: if you're gonna set the ground rules, just one of the things you can do, you can set your ground rules for arguments. If the arguments get circular, either one of you is allowed to Say, call a timeout. We're coming back at this tomorrow.
Absolutely. We've done that.
Yeah. The arguments are just getting circular. We neither one. We need time to absorb it,
to reset,
to absorb everything because we're just
process.
We're just
we need
spinning.
time to process.
Yeah, we're just spinning.
Yeah.
And that's actually a great power in a relationship. Hey, this is a long-term relationship. It's perfectly fine to deal with this tomorrow. You know? Sometimes even next week. And sometimes you go, oh, that was dumb. Why'd we do that? I don't know. I was hungry. You know, sometimes on occasion it is. What was that about? I don't really know.
We've done that.
We both had a bad day, didn't we? Yep. Yeah, it happens.
Isn't that where we learned not to do bad days together? We do them in separate corners of the house.
Oh, we're both having a bad day. So what we're doing, we're on our own today, aren't we? Yep. All right. That's how we show our love for each other. We're both having bad days. All right. We're on our own.
Okay, I'm going to leave you alone. Thank you.
Yeah. It happens. It's all right. You can work through these things. And it's a magic. It's a miracle how little often that comes up once you give it the power. Right? Once you give yourselves the power to do that, it actually comes up very little. Because the other person knows, the person most capable of giving that day ends up giving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is what happens.
Yeah.
And because you know you have the ability, no, you are honored enough that if you couldn't do that, it'd be perfectly fine not to. Mm-hmm. So that magically gives you the power to step up for the person who needs it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how that works. But that freedom to say, I can't do this today, gives you the power to do this today.
Yeah.
It just works.
It's weird.
It's weird. But, human relationships are weird. So
they really are.
Okay. What's next?
Okay. I'm interested to see what you think about this one.
Uh-huh.
My boyfriend gets upset when I sleep. He says he gets lonely.
Well, someone better get used to being by himself if that's the real cause. If it's a genuine thing, and it probably is, he's probably expressing some deep-seated fear of something that he doesn't quite understand. Mm-hmm. Then, especially, he's talking 35.
Yeah.
Right? So he should have a handle on this, which means he's struggling with something, and he's not quite sure what it is. But, yeah, he's going to have to get a handle on it. This is a counseling event. Probably he's going to have to deal with some rejection. Something has happened. There's something he hasn't processed properly in his life.
I would make this a deal breaker. Go to your house to sleep. You must have sleep. This can be a form of abuse. So counseling.
Well, it depends.
Find out what the root cause of this is.
Well, it depends what she means by upset. Just because he gets upset doesn't necessarily mean he wakes her up or doesn't let her go to sleep.
Yes, he does.
Well, it doesn't say that.
Sorry.
You got to put this kind of stuff in.
Sorry.
Because there's different ways of expressing upset, right? And people have So, yeah, he's got something to deal with. He's got to... Frankly, if you're not capable of being comfortable with yourself alone, you're not really capable of being in a relationship. So there is that.
I made myself comfortable with going to restaurants alone and reading and eating alone when I was single.
Oh, I didn't care to go to restaurants, but yeah, you just have to be comfortable. If you
comfortable with yourself.
Yeah. If you're not comfortable with yourself, you can't really have a functional relationship. You become codependent. No one wants that. Okay.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh, this little girl. She's 15, and it's her first boyfriend, and there's no romantic feelings in my relationship. He doesn't do romantic gestures. He doesn't say romantic things. He's 16. He doesn't, take her on romantics, watch the sunrise, things like that.
Okay, well, here's the thing. The only romantic gestures and things he's going to know at 16 are things he's seen in movies. That's it. So you don't really want him to because he's just going to end up quoting movies and things like that. Which I suppose is an effort. If you're just looking for an effort, you're not going to mind the fact that he's at least rolling through a Rolodex of movies trying to find lines that are somewhat appropriate for the moment. I suppose there's some honor in that, but
Mom and Dad, this is where you get the chance to set the model for your growing children so you don't end up with a child like this.
well, but this is also 16-year-old guys aren't romantic, and
Well, they're not.
not the ones you want anyway.
No.
The ones who are romantic are doing it because it's a scam. So.
Well, wait a minute. I had a 16-year-old boyfriend. I broke up with him. He was completely rejected. He was very upset.
Yeah. What's that got to do with him being romantic?
He was a romantic kind.
Are you sure he was a romantic kind, or was he upset that he put in all this effort and got nowhere out of it?
He did give me an adult book and say, look at the pictures and pick which ones you want.
I rest my case. How romantic. It's just amazing how often I'm right on these kind of things. Here's my suggestion. Find out what's actually important to you. If you want to have a romantic evening, you're going to have to take the lead and schedule a evening that you find romantic. He doesn't know what's romantic.
He doesn't know what to do.
So you're going to have to plan it and invite him along.
Yeah.
So, and at 15, 16, if he don't want to go along, you can find someone else who does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but also remember, 16-year-olds don't really know how to be romantic, especially the nerdy ones, the ones that you're going to want to actually like in 10 years. So, you may want to cut some slack a little bit. Life is not a Hallmark movie. It's not TV.
Sorry, hon. It's not. It's the day-to-day moments.
You want to know it's romantic in a 16-year-old is he drives all the way across town or walks all the way across town to bring you flowers because you got mad at him.
Yeah.
Those are the romantic gestures.
Yeah, we know someone who did that.
Yeah. Got lost along the way, all kinds of stuff. But that's what happens. It's the romantic gestures aren't the ones you think they are. You look for them in different places is my suggestion. Okay.
Now we get to the intimacy portion.
Yes. All right.
Okay. He thinks I'm too chatty during a job.
Yes.
I'm too chatty. She's new, and she's just over here just having a good time, just trying to relax. She's a little nervous. She's a little chatty.
Yeah.
She's, just trying to get into it, and making comments and,
Okay, but if you're talking, it would be kind of annoying.
Focus.
Well, it's not even. That's a little rude. But I wouldn't quite say that. But it's you're breaking whatever momentum you're building. Let me put it this way, and so someone is giving you feedback, and so are you going to accept it or not?
Mm.
The nice thing is if he's willing to give you feedback, he's probably willing to accept feedback. So therefore you can actually have an intimate relationship that has, uncomfortable feedback.
Yeah.
Which might be uncomfortable in the moment, but long term,
it behooves you.
It behooves you. So maybe we all understand the initial reaction. You feel a little hurt. You feel being criticized as you're trying to, but I don't This is gonna come out wrong. It's kind of like a coach. They're they tell you how to take a swing at these things.
OMG.
But you know what I mean. You don't get better by not having any instruction.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a better time for everybody involved, yourself included, because these things build on these things. As your partner gets more excited, so do you. And these things, it's just this nature of the beast.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, just
okay. Yeah.
take it in the spirit that it was given. I suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try and tone it down a little bit. We know you're nervous.
Yeah. It's just, don't, speak in your head.
Yeah.
Now, I suppose if you could actually manage to talk while you're being effective, I suppose that would be an interesting thing. Might be unique.
Yeah, but he'd probably go, what? What?
Would be distracted. No, let's be honest. We don't give a crap. What are we talking about here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We ain't gonna hear nothing. What are you talking about?
You all aren't.
We ain't
That's not what you're focused
That's
on.
not what we're paying attention to at the moment. Okay, what's next?
Okay. Partner says I never initiate anything. I don't know how. Okay, a very deep kiss is a good way to start. It all begins and ends with a kiss.
Here's the thing. There's no don't know how. It's not a don't know how. It's you don't know how to force yourself to. You know 100 ways to do it. I'll guarantee it. You're choosing not to because something in you is probably afraid of rejection.
Getting turned down.
Yeah. And this way you don't have to face getting turned down. And so if you never practice, just like anything else, if you never practice,
It's not something we're familiar with.
No.
In our teen years.
No. You don't have to.
No.
So you don't get any practice at it.
Yeah.
We get too much practice at it, quite frankly. Many of us become essentially, your sister always asks, where does men get that unshakable confidence they had? Well, it's because we've been turned down 100,000 times. We just don't care anymore. It's like, yeah, it's another one on the pile, whatever.
Do you ever think maybe you ask too much?
Probably. But, if you don't ask, you can't have a yes.
So you're just playing the numbers over here.
Some of us play the numbers. Some of us were far too anxious to play numbers. Didn't really need to.
Okay.
Had a high batting average. Didn't need to play numbers. You've got a high batting average. But.
Well, ooh.
Just saying. Have to take that many swings.
You got to be sure. Are they sure things, though, when you go into it?
Oh, no, but I got good eyes. So, all right. Well, then that works in a number of ways. But, all right, what is next?
Okay. Now, this is common.
Wait, do we actually answer her question? And I'm assuming it's a her.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay. So you're just going to have to buckle down and park your anxiety a few times.
Yeah.
And he's not going to complain if your attempts are clumsy.
Don't care.
They do not care. You can walk up and grab his man parts and say, "Come with me." That's initiating it.
It is.
Yeah, especially to a guy. You just pick something.
They need that big whack over the head.
Yeah, because here's the thing. He gets tired of getting turned down.
Yeah, he is.
And so he needs his batteries recharged every now and again, and that's up to you. He's asking you to help him recharge his...
Yeah, don't drain his batteries.
Yep. Because then he's going to stop asking.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now this one. Okay, this is a common women's issue.
Yes.
I've told my husband so many times to just pound me and treat me like a doll, but he rarely does. And if he tries, he finishes so fast.
Well, you don't like treating the person you love like that. It's counterintuitive.
It's just a little fantasy we have that we're just this pure lusted after.
Okay.
Ravage me.
And part of us, logically, we actually understand
You're
that.
so overwhelmed with your desire for us that you just can't help yourself.
We get all that, but it doesn't work for many of us at the time. You know?
Okay.
You like this person. You want to be soft and
Well,
gentle.
you don't have to be rough. It's just like moving us into different positions all the time.
Oh, no. She used very specific words. You don't say that.
Well, you're firm.
Yeah, no.
But you're not abusive. You don't hit. I mean,
well, no, but she wanted to be treated like a doll. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move us around.
I'm just saying, and if he finishes, well, because you're asking him to do.
What you're asking him to do creates that. Sorry.
Yeah.
For him, at least.
Well, for
it's
most,
just a woo.
Well, it's just not even that. It's just a matter of, speed, friction. You've built it all up too fast. The very thing you want creates the very thing you dislike. Now, there's numbing creams and all kinds of things that could actually help with some of that. But he's not comfortable. He's clearly not comfortable with treating you like that. And sometimes these are these things that you have to decide is.
It's a nice little fantasy, hon, and I'm with you. We did, but you can get that same passion. You're looking for the passion, and you can find that same passion in other activities, just not so frictiony.
Yeah. Hey, reserve it for birthdays and things. Kind of.
There you go. Yeah.
The same way. It works the other way around.
Ooh, that's a good one. Can we just on my birthday?
Birthdays,
there you go.
Valentine's Day, those, a couple days, 2-3 times.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good compromise.
Yeah, and, try some numbing thing if.
Yeah.
There's some numbing creams and stuff you can use.
What about a prophylactic?
It depends on the person. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you can get one of the thicker kinds, and I suppose that would help, but they're generally not as pleasant for the.
But it's very selfish. What she's asking for is kind of selfish, Oh, it's okay. And it's a fantasy.
It's okay to be selfish. On occasion.
On occasion. Yeah.
Especially if your partner doesn't mind, but he has trouble with the perceived physicality of what you're asking him to do. And so there's no good answers to these ones. You're just going to have to kind of work through it.
Mm-hmm.
Make the compromise a handful of times a year, maybe. Or maybe there's a middle ground somewhere. So maybe you can finish like that, but have the rest of the evening.
Ooh, that's a good one.
More normal.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could take some, figure out a way to you take some charge and.
Ooh, ravage him.
Deal with that yourself.
Ravage him.
Yeah. So.
That's a good one.
All right. What's next?
Okay. Is my wife thinking of her former friends with benefits, my friend / co-worker during sex? Okay. Now, they were co-workers.
Uh-huh.
Then they become friends with benefits.
Okay.
It didn't work out. It ran its course.
Yeah.
And everything ended amiably. They just...
Sure.
But they realized during the course of that, there's no way they could live together and be partners. They just, no, thanks. And so they ended it amiably, and they became good friends. They
Okay.
like each other. They just never fell
Can't
in.
live. Yeah, can't live together.
Can't live together. Never fell in love.
Sure.
You know, and so they were friends. Then she moved on. She got this boyfriend,
Okay.
and they all became friends.
Sure.
You know, he was mature about it. He accepted it. It's in the past. They're just friends now.
Uh-huh.
She wants me. You know, he got that in his head. But now they're having sex, and he's like, is she thinking about him?
Well, the chances are, if she's thinking about someone other than you, the chances are it's not that person. It's some, suave, debonair person with
Sam Elliott.
the perfect size schlong for her particular needs, and that she's thinking of. But most likely, no. And stop thinking of other people while you're engaged in.
Stop it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stay present. She's with you. She picked you. She chose you. She's staying with you. She continues to choose you.
Well, the problem is if you let yourself go down this path, it doesn't matter if it's your friend, coworker, the person you're thinking of now, and it's going to be the person who was before that, the time before. Is she going to be thinking of Ryan Reynolds or whatever happened? Her favorite movie star is going to be, and maybe she is, but so what?
You're allowed to have 3 that you have a crush on. Now, they should be, major public figures. It's easier that way. It can't be your best friend. Sorry. You're allowed.
You're allowed.
And if I'm sorry, if Sam Elliott came along and wanted to take me out, I'm sorry, honey.
Uh-huh.
I'd have to go.
Uh-huh. It's a commandment.
I know.
Clearly.
I know. Sorry. Would you be okay?
We'll find out.
Okay. Sam Elliott, I'm waiting for you.
We'll find out. We'll find out how that goes. Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, it could happen.
Uh-huh.
You're not taking me seriously.
No, I'm not.
Now we're coming back to that last question.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Quit a job after the guy training me said I reminded him of an anime character he liked to goon to. Now they're both teenagers,
Yeah.
and he did that.
Yeah, because he's a teenager. And it doesn't have a filter. He may or may not have even meant anything by it. It could have just been
It's just in passing.
a thought process. Is hey, you look like this character, and he just completed the thought because he's too stupid to have a sensor yet.
Yeah, he doesn't.
An effective sensor.
He doesn't have a filter.
Or he could have been trying to gauge your reaction to it.
Yeah. See, is she interested?
Yeah. Hey, worth a shot. Clearly, it was not.
It was not.
No, he did not. But
He
teenage
missed the mark.
He misjudged. He did not read the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing: I kind of applaud her for quitting rather than getting him fired. 'Cause
Yeah.
she could have got him fired for that, probably.
She could have.
Or at least gotten him a talking to. Now, does she have to? No, she could have. That is probably inappropriate under most circumstances. So I can't defend it, except for the fact that he's young and stupid, so he probably didn't mean much by it. But
He's an idiot.
yeah, he's an idiot. In a sense, he deserves to be fired so he could learn something. Maybe you have to learn things. Some of us have to learn things the hard way, right? And so maybe she should have mentioned it to somebody.
Yeah, the person who hired you.
Yeah. And maybe she still could sit back and go, I see not wanting to make a big deal about it, right? You want to make a big lawsuit or make a huge ordeal out of it. But you may want to inform, that company, because the company does have a responsibility to make sure their trainers train people properly, and that's improperly. And, they'll want to know so they can not be open up to a lawsuit later. There's a fine line here. right? And I'm not exactly sure what that line is, but she should probably notify her employer that this happened.
She really should. Really should. I agree with that. That's my advice. Just very quietly.
Yeah, you don't have to make a big deal out of it.
No.
Send a letter, send an email. Just say here's why I quit.
Yeah.
I was just uncomfortable. And they may call you up and ask you to come back, and because they've let the guy go or sent him through retraining or something.
Yeah.
If he's a teenager, they'll probably just let him go. He's too big of a future risk. Learned a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he deserve it? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
That's who knows. It's hard to know. Well, in a sense, yes, because you can't say that. But
you can't.
But he's so young enough where you can actually kind of
stern warning.
Yeah, he's young enough where you can understand the stupidity, right?
Yeah.
He's probably too young to be training people. Is probably the bigger mistake. Yeah. Of course, teenagers, 17, 18, 19, something like that.
Yeah.
Probably too young to be training somebody. But
they really are.
But, if you've got a staff of 18, 19, 20-year-olds working at a McDonald's or something, what are you going to do? You got what you got. All right. Honesty doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Sometimes the softest truths are the one that finally let us breathe. Tonight reminded us that the little things matter. The coughs, the silences, the unspoken fears, the tiny resentments, the hopes we tuck away for later. Life, love, and relationships aren't built on grand gestures. They are built on the everyday choices that show up, speak up, and stay human. Wherever you are tonight, whatever you're carrying, you're not doing it alone. This community holds you. This space holds you, and you deserve gentleness. For me and Levy, have a good night, and please remember to love everybody.
Good night.